Hello, it's Gina Brandsetter here with Stampin' Heaven, and I am here for day 2 for 12 days of crafting. So let's take a look at what is coming in day 2. Here we have our 6x6 papers. Let's take these out and let's take a look at them. I'll set the box aside out of the way. Today we get to play with some pretty paper. So you get 2 of each of these sheets, and I'll kind of try to show you the pattern, the print. These are white daisies on a beige background. These are one-sided. This looks kind of like a crumb cake, maybe lighter than that. I'm not sure, but there's a leaf design on it. Coordinates very well. And of course, we have the blue daisies. This looks like Misty Moonlight and Secret Sea with some Darling Duckling, yellow color. Another blueprint. And another one with different kinds of flowers. And then here we have green, maybe old olive. It's a little bit more green than it looks on the screen, I believe. And this is a pretty print. So there's 2 of those. So we have that together. Okay. And now we have pink. And this pinks and green flowers, and then this one with the pinks and the blues. It's very pretty. So there's 2 of each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, if I counted right. So that would be 20 sheets of designer paper, 6x6. Now, the project that I'm going to create for you today is a card using the paper, and I will also use the dies that came in yesterday's, that was behind yesterday's door. We've got some little flower dies. We're also going to be using the stamp set, which you get in addition to the 12 Days of Crafting box. So when you order the 12 Days of Crafting, you also get this stamp set, which has images and sentiments on it. So the dies that I've used are these 2 little flowers. They coordinate with this flower and this flower. So I have already die cut and stamped them. You can see these right here. And I used Pretty and Pink for the pink flower, and then Misty Moonlight, which I use 2nd generation stamping when I use that. So I inked it up, stamped it off, and then stamped my die to give me that lighter color. The center of those flowers is stamped in Darling Duckling. So I have already stamped those. And I have pre-cut my papers. I'm going to make a regular size card. This is a 2-inch by 4 1/4, and you can see I'm using one of the pink papers, and then I'm using this really pretty paper right here. And this is cut to the full card size, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Now, I'm going to use Misty Moonlight cardstock, and this is from the 8.5 by 11 size cardstock. So it is not double-sided, it is one color, but Misty Moonlight, it looks really pretty with these colors. So first of all, let's go ahead and attach this piece to the card. We're going to do a fun little open fold on this card. A little bit more straight. Okay. And I'm going to attach this piece to the bottom. Now, again, when you order your 12 days of crafting box from my website, you will get a PDF of all 12 projects that I'm going to be doing. And that PDF will be a guide that will have templates and instructions on how I put these together. And you will want it for this one because this one is a little bit detailed. Now, I'm going to move this out of the way because I'm going to be doing some scoring and cutting with my paper trimmer. I have my sentiment already stamped out. We will just set these aside. Okay. Now, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to make some little marks on this piece of paper. So this will show me where I want to cut, make my cuts and folds. So the first mark I'm going to make will be 1 inch from the bottom. Oh, actually, let's get to my ruler here. I'll just do it with the ruler first. So I'm going to go 1 inch from the bottom. I'm going to make a little mark, and the blue paper here might be a little hard to see. So I'm going to make that mark there. And what I will want to do is score from here to this mark. And then up here in this corner, I'm going to make a mark 1.5 inches. So there's 1.5 inches. We'll make that mark there. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side, 1.5 inches. So I've got that mark there. This will be where I make my cut across there, okay, from there to there. So first I've made 1 inch mark here and a 1.5 on each of these corners. Now I'm going to make my cuts. So the first cut I'm going to make is at the bottom where I made the mark, and I'm going to cut from this mark down to the corner. Okay. The second cut I'm going to make will be from this corner that I just marked and up to this corner, which is your left corner. So from your right corner to your left corner. Should look like this so far. Now I've made this 1/2 inch mark there. So I'm just going to put this piece here so I can make sure I'm doing it from mark to mark. I'm going to cut it. Okay. So your piece should look like this so far. Kind of a little bit wonky. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to score it 3/4 inch. And going to score it. Oops, it's my instructions. Okay, so this will be our fold. Okay, now if I did this right, let's go ahead and fold this. So this is going to wrap around the front of the card, and we want to attach this to the very back of the card. So our corner should hit about that line. We've got a little space up here and a little space here. That is perfectly okay. Before we attach this to the very back, we're going to just snip this, and we're just going to make a straight cut. We're going to do one more thing, and I'm going to punch a hole. Anybody remember these old crocodiles? That is my hole punch. I missed out on the little hole punch that Stampin' Up! Had, and I didn't get mine ordered before they ran out. So I'm just gonna punch a hole right there. Okay. So now we are ready to glue this together. Put some good adhesive on there. And let's just place it on the front before I wrap this around. Okay. All right. So now when you open your card, open like that. Just rub that extra adhesive off so it doesn't stick. There. Okay, so now we've got a pretty little fold card. So let's dress this up. Now, I've already stamped for someone special, and that was in Misty Moonlight. And then I used Old Olive. I used the little branch flowers, which is this one right here. And we will just add that right there. I'm just going to do it in the center. And then let's use some ribbon. I've got some 1/2 inch ribbon here. This is just white ribbon. And just poke this through here. And we'll wrap the ribbon around. And tie it in a bow. I'm going to make sure I have enough. It's just that. I'll probably be snipping some of that off because I'm sure that was more than I need. Let's do like this. Straighten the bow up here. Now, let's just trim this ends off a little bit. And I need to angle that just a little bit more, keep it from fraying. Oops. Okay. See if I can cut this one a little bit better. There. Now let's attach the flowers. And I'm just going to put this on here so it kind of covers up the sentiment a little bit. And let's use some pop dots to pop that up. I'm going to put it on these two. Just those leaves there. I could actually put one on this one. Okay. So the little oval kind of frames that a little bit. And let's just stick this one, and I'm not going to glue it to the ribbon. So I want the ribbon to be able to come off. Okay. And I've got some strawberry slush gems. Let's just add a few gems. This one is a quick little project, but I think it makes a very pretty card and a unique design. Okay, let's get my quick pick tool over here. Trying to decide which gems to put on here. Let's put a couple down here, maybe some little ones up here. How about a clear one too? I like a lot of gems. And let's put one, we'll put one on the inside. There we go. How about that? Okay, so let's tie this up. And there is your unique little fun little fold card for day 2 using some of the paper. Now I'll be using the paper as we go along on other projects as we do the other days, but I'll give you a little close up here. Day 2, 12 days of crafting. So thank you for joining me, and I'll be back tomorrow with day 3.